3.
俺と差しなら丸腰でも勝てるって調子に乗るな。そう来なくちゃ。そのムカつくにやけ面ぶっ潰して二度と笑えねえようにしてやるよ。
At number 3 in our spot is Ryo Aoki from Yakuza Like a Dragon, aka Masato Arakawa. Masato is the adopted son of Masumi Arakawa and the biological son of Joe Sawashiro. Masato is the other coin locker baby left by Sawashiro since he wasn't able to raise him. Coincidentally, there was another baby put inside a locker right next to Masato's. That baby being revealed to be Ichiban. Ichiban's mom was running for her life, and in order to protect him, she had to put him in the same set of coin lockers that Masato was in.
By some hilarious chance of fate, Arakawa took Masato instead, because who the fuck else put another baby into a coin locker that night?
Masato ended up being cared for by Papa Arakawa, while Ichiban was raised in a soapland by Jiro Kasuga. Years later, with no knowledge of what happened, both coin locker babies crossed paths when Papa Arakawa saved Ichiban's life, then was inducted to this family. Ichiban helped to look after Masato until one fateful New Year, Masato killed a Yakuza from a rival family. Sawashiro took the blame for this, but then Arakawa decided that Ichi should take the blame for Sawashiro, so Ichiban spent 20 years in jail.
In those 20 years, Masato decided to get some experimental surgery done and a whole new cleaned up look, and then decided to go into more Japanese politics. You see, all these decisions stem from his disability. He felt small for most of his life, and a police officer made him feel like shit when he stole his girl from him. The Yakuza he killed didn't make him feel any better, so once he was able to walk, he thought he'd take all of that pent-up anger and bring it back to the world that gave it to him.
His appearances are scattered between the events before Ichiban was arrested and the latter half of the game. He became an asshole, and I mean more than he usually was. He spent all these years building up his political power and getting his grubby hands in every string he could pull.
The build-up to his fight was incredible and truly set him up as an opposing force to Ichiban and his party. Ichiban, by the time he gets to Millennium Tower, knows in his heart he has to set things right with Masato before he can make any more bad mistakes. Also from becoming God Emperor King Aoki. After getting past Tendo, Masato and his goons attack Ichiban and his party, but they end up losing and the final fight between both brothers take place on the floor above.
His fight isn't anything to write home about, besides the fact that Ichiban is holding nothing back anymore and beats up Masato really badly. Tendo provided most of the bulk when it came to a challenge for either of the fights, making him the final boss of the gameplay, whereas Aoki is the final boss of the story.
The end of this fight leads to the downfall of Aoki, publicly exposing himself as Masato Arakawa. Through the assistance of Ichiban's friends and luring Tendo out of the way, Ichi needed this moment to talk to Masato and understand the choices that he made. After the footage of his evil actions gets exposed to the public, he breaks. He completely hates the idea of redemption and starting over that Ichiban proposed, continuing to compare Ichiban to his father and the Yakuza morals that he grew to despise. Ichiban and Masato were brothers, and in some poetic way, as Ichiban put it, like light and shadow born on the same day.
The aftermath of this fight is heartbreaking. As Masato and Ichiban are left together in a somber, vulnerable moment between these two brothers, at the exact same spot where it all began. Masato is still angry, still wanting to stomp out Ichiban when he has nothing now. But Ichiban refuses to give up on helping him. He breaks down as he reflects on the path that he went on, realizing that despite all of the work that he did to put himself as high of a position he's in, all of the changes to his body, and all of the efforts to improve himself were all for naught. He felt as though no one was appreciative of him for himself. He threatens Ichiban by pointing a gun to his own head. He'd nearly given up on life entirely, but would he fail to realize that, through all of his indifference towards the Yakuza, Ichiban, and his father, were the people who cared and supported him most, even when he left them behind. After Ichiban had told him that he, Sawashiro, and his father were the people who truly loved and cared for him, the only thing he could do was just beg for Masato to do the right thing. Masato, finally convinced, puts the gun into one of the lockers, taking one last call with his secretary before accepting Ichiban's offer to finally start over. But then, as he finally turned around, willing to accept redemption,
「ひどいじゃないですか、青木さん。私は信じてたのに。青木さんの正義は漂白された真っ白なものだと信じてたのに。でも、まだ間に合う。本当の正義は勝つんです。
he's murdered in cold blood. Ichiban immediately carries him away, rushing to get help as quickly as possible, but it's just too late.
Masato, after his death, is still honored by Ichiban. He and his father, their deaths put perspective in Ichiban and helped to reinforce it with one of their best quotes of the series.
どん底まで行きゃ、あとは上しか行く道がねえ。どん底から見える景色ってな、真っ暗じゃねえ。地に足つけて上を見上げりゃ、希望で輝いてんだ。あんたの言う通りですよ、若。